And it's tournament day. That's right. Another fantastic tournament review from me. But this time, I bring only Coven, the new Army of Renown, to a full 5-round GT Grand Tournament. Let's see how I do. Let's dive in.
The Dark King.
Okay, so it's tournament day. Now, as you know, I've been doing some videos from the old studio. This is probably the last one, maybe. But I'm going to be bringing the Coven to a full GT. I'm really excited. It's 2,000 points. And I'm very excited to see how this Army of Renown army does. The last time I ran all witches, and that was really, really fun. But I'm testing a full witch Coven list. Now, it's kind of crazy. We're going to go over the list first. And then we're going to go to the event, see how that works. And then I'm going to talk about maybe some changes that I would be doing. Hey, I'm down here. Yeah, that's right. Talking to you. I like to innovate. I like to try weird, crazy things. Why? Because it's not always the best, but it's really fun. And all of you out there like to play the game the way that you like to play. And when we're surrounded with constant negativity in the hobby because of releases or power levels or things like that, a lot of the times all we need is someone to go out and kind of see, hey, what is possible? If I put my head to it, what can I achieve? So let's take a look at the list that I'm bringing. Now, of course, the first thing I like to do is visualize. As you can see here, ta-da! The entire army is now visualized in front of you. Always put the army out, kind of see what it looks like. You can even go as far as put deployments down, things like that, to make sure that you are doing the right thing with your army and to see how much space it takes up. I'm a very visual person, and this really helps me figure out what I'm doing. So here we go. The entire army is ready and arrayed. This is a full Army of Renown from the Coteries of the Homunculi, and it is a single battalion detachment. We start with a Master Homunculus, who has the Rule by Fear stratagem. He also has the Warlord trait to give all core Coven units reroll 1s to hit, sort of like an Archon, which is really cool. And his relic is the Vexator Mask. Now, I am using the Prophets of the Flesh Coven, and although I don't get access to the Obsession, so no transhuman, which means that I can be wounded normally, no regenerating wounds for the grotesques, the talos, or the characters at the start of every command phase. It means I get access to their stratagem and their warlord trait and their relic, which is really cool. The secondary homunculus, as you can see, is one of the old school homunculi. That's right, this is an old pewter model. Looks really, really cool. Now, I've decided to give this one Tolerated Ambition, and the warlord trait allows me to regenerate command points. I found that the Coven army is very heavy on command points, so regenerating some will be quite handy. The relic I gave this one is the Helm of Spite. It really helps just mitigate those people who want to get easy psychic secondaries, like a warp ritual or a psychic interrogation, and it kind of puts pause to my enemies to be able to do that without being contested every single turn. We move on to the troops. So I have 1 unit of 20 with 2 ossifactors and an electrocorrosive whip, Wracks. 1 unit of 10 hemoxites upgraded with an electrocorrosive whip. 1 unit of 20 and another unit of 20, and then a third unit of 20 with a single ossifactor and then an electrocorrosive whip. The ossifactor is in there to allow the units to advance and advance and shoot and charge. Actually, this one here does not have an ossifactor. So there's 2 with ossifactors, 1 just plain Jane. Last but not least, we have 1 unit of 20 with 5 liquefier guns. And I have gone ahead and paid the points to make their liquefier, paid the CP to make their liquefiers +1 strength. So strength 5 liquefier guns in a 20-man block, and then all of the rest of the troops. This is really the meat and potatoes of the list, and is designed to really sort of put the hurt on the enemy and target the primary objectives. In the elite slot, I have 1 and 2 units of mandrakes. Now, this is because they are 6 strong, they can forward deploy, they get me secondaries like retrieve Nachman data, they can go into the enemy lines, they screen out the backboard. They're just all in all very useful units to have, so I decided to take 2 of them. And then the other 2 elites are going to be 1 and 2 units of 5 grotesques. They're still fantastic in a Coven army. They have lots of wounds, they're very tough, they're still core. which means that they will provide some good support in the middle of the game. Last but not least, I'm running 3 single Talos. So 1, 2, 3 Talos with double heat lances, an Ichor injector, and a Talos gauntlet. So they're a anti-tank, anti-infantry, anti-monster, and they're great for just some counterattacks. The reason I took them as singles is for screening purposes and because of To the Last. When I take To the Last, it'll be the 20-man unit with the 5 liquefire guns. It'll be the Ossifactor unit with the 2 Ossifactors, or either of the grotesque units. So at least 1 grotesque unit, either that one or another grotesque unit, and the 20-man block with liquefiers. It means that I can use the Talos more aggressively and not worry about losing my To the Last. For anybody who's wondering, these are squad marks. So of course, I've just put them ready. I'm getting ready to go and actually practice with the list, but these go on the units like that. And then they're marked and they have a color around their base. So that in the middle of the game, I don't have to worry too much about what squad is what, because they will be marked with their squad marks. There you have it. 2,000 points of Coven. Really excited to test it out. Let me know what you think down below, but let's take a look at all 5 games. This is a full GT. There's 32 people, 34 people at this event, which is going to be awesome. I'm really excited. And I know this is not like this is designed to be a team defender list. So I know there's some bad matchups, but my goal this weekend will be to make sure that if I lose, I don't lose by very much. And if I win, then I win, which is fantastic. But it's definitely designed to blunt those heavy meta lists out there and stop them from winning by very much. So let's see if I can pull that off this weekend. And if I win, well, that's a bonus, which is super exciting. Let's go, Coven. Bring back some flesh for the pits of the Dark City. Now to pack everything up. Now, don't forget, I did notice that I had 6 in one unit, 5 in the other. That's okay, it's 2 units of 5. Just for everybody who was actually doing some counting. And here we are at game night. It's gonna be tournament day. That's exciting. Let's go play some games. And we're here setting up for the event at game night. Some cool tables, nice big terrain, which is gonna be great. It's all player placed. We've got 5 missions, so it'll be really fun. Other than that, looking forward to it. It's nice to see everybody, which is awesome. And here we are on round 1. We're playing mission 11, recover the relics. And of course, I rolled to go first. I got the first turn. I'm taking banners To the Last and Herd the Prey, actually, which is an interesting choice for me in this matchup. Just wanted to test that out. But yeah, against Death Guard, lots of Terminators and Plague Marines and Mephitic Blightholders and a variety of cool things. So yeah, let's see how this game goes as we move on to the first round. These are all player-placed terrain, so the whole event is player-placed terrain. And every table has the same. 2 big ruins, 2 small ruins, and this is a forest. So looking forward to this weekend. I'm very excited to roll some dice. I'm here with Tristan from Game Night. That's me. That's right. We're having the GT here. Make sure you check them out. Link will be down below. We just had food. Pizza was delicious. And now round 2.
Round 2.
That's right.
Got 7 minutes.
Oh, the countdown begins. And I could have just stayed at home to play Chris. But he's brought the Sisters of Battle that you remember from last time. So I have a bone to pick with them from when they murdered all my witch cult. There's the Wracks. Okay, wish us luck. This is round 2 of the event, and we're playing Data, Skari, Salvage. Secondaries I took were Stranglehold, To the Last, and something else. Banners. I took banners. And then Chris took No Prisoners, Grind Them Down, and Mental Interrogation. Okay, let's see how this goes. Wow, what a crazy game. This mission, hold 2 with hordes of Wracks. Look at my kill pile. Look at that. That is absolutely nuts. I did win 91 to 60. However, the Sisters did, they do so many attacks. Those novitiates with Morven Foal, I was able to get a really good charge into the Zephyrim that were back, from a unit that was over here all the way in his zone, and that was really nuts on my 3rd turn. Other than that, great game. Thanks, Chris, for the game. But any other mission, and it would have been a lot closer. That's for sure. Okay, so with that, we're going on to the last game of round 3. Round 3 of day 1. There we go, that's what I meant to say. I'm tired, my brain hurts. There's a lot of models to move around. But with that, let's dive into the next game. So round number 3, I'm playing against Knights, House Tyrannus, so it's really good. I did end up having to go first, so I just put a big screen up. But this is gonna be an interesting matchup. Lots of Knights versus, I have almost no anti-tank.
it's going to be about scoring points, which is going to come down to it. It's going to be really cool. Okay, wish me luck. It's going to be a good game. Okay, so here we are at the end of round number 3. I was able to beat the Knights. We did play a mission with objectives in the middle, as you saw. I was able to make a big line, stopping all the Knights from getting one of their secondaries in the middle of the board. At the end, it was 89 to 72 for the Drukhari. Very, very tight fought game. Holy moly, do Knights kill. I almost lost my entire army. It was crazy. They can nuke about 30 racks to 40 racks a turn. It was crazy how much shooting came out of this list, and combat. Especially the Helverins. They were like just absolute money. Okay, so with that, it is the end of day 1. Time to get some rest, and go on to day number 2 tomorrow. 2 more rounds. Well, that's the end of day 1. One of the funnest things about a tournament is going to have food after. So now we've got a reservation. We're going to sit down. We're going to have some food. We're going to talk shop. And then we go home. And then tomorrow, it's a new day. So let's see what the night brings. It's round number 3. I'm playing against light Harlequins. And by round number 3, I mean round number 4. And then, yeah, we're doing that. I got lots of racks. I went first. It's the scouring. And I've just put racks and racks and racks on all the objectives. Wish me luck. Let's see how this goes. We'll see how many. There's a solitaire and Troopmaster coming to murder me. So that's going to be fun. Wow, what a great game against the Harlequins. It did come down to the Harlequins winning 77 to 57. I did stop him from scoring pretty much the first 3/4 of the game, or the first third of the game, and then the last third he just maxed on pretty much all of his score, and then stopped me from scoring. And that was the go first, go second conundrum. I'd like to practice this again, going second, to force the Harlequins to get on me, and then me be dictating how many points they can score every turn. So that was really, really good. Good game. Hamza, thanks for the game. That was good. Other than that, we finished with a couple minutes left on the clock. So that's my first loss, round 4. And we're moving on to round number 5. That's right. Now it's the fun bracket. We can just have some fun. But WTC style, it was a 14-6. So not terrible to blunt a crazy Harlequin army that's supposed to get 20s every game to a 14. So that's not bad. Other than that, I already know kind of what changes I want to make. But I'm loving this list so much. So, last game of the weekend. I'm looking forward to it. And this is round number 5, playing my fellow Team Canada teammate Tim and his Dark Harlequins on another 5 objective mission. Definitely, I went first again, much to my chagrin, because I won that last turn, but it's apparently not going to be something that happens very frequently for me. Very cool list that he has with like a couple of Void Weavers and a Dark list. I've just kind of positioned. I don't want to lose 50 racks in one turn like I did last game, so I'm hiding a lot more this time. So let's see if that pays off. But with that, let's dive into the game. Wish me luck. It's the last game of the GT, and yeah, we'll see what happens after. And that is the end of the game. So I actually have some survivors this time. But I did score 94 this game to 62 to Tim. What a crazy game! I can't wait to show off what happened with here. But this Army of Renown is amazing. I absolutely love it, and I already know what I'm going to tweak to make it even better and stronger. So make sure you stay tuned to that. Okay, so after that, that's it. 4-1 at my first GT with the Rack Horde spam. So let's see how we end up at the end of the game, or the end of the tournament. Awesome, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, back after the event, at the studio, which is, I'm packing the studio up because I'm moving. But I wanted to get this video up and out. So I moved everything off the table, set the army up. Let's break down the event and all that good stuff. Also, yes, this is like, cool. I won, second best overall. So I did come in 3rd for ITC, so like battle points. However, I got a little trophy. This is painting, like sportsmanship, I guess, and generalship. Cool, 2nd place, baby. Best overall is like my favorite award to win. Okay, but let's dive into the list, what I liked, what I disliked, and the changes that I'm going to make this list even more crazy.
Well, list, it's time for a performance review. This is the list. I went over it. The good stuff, and then the stuff that I'm going to be shuffling around. Number 1, 2 homunculuses. Great. I'm going to talk about the changes I need to do with them. The CP regen was phenomenal. The 9-inch bubble and the real ones to hit was amazing. 2 units of mandrakes did exactly what they were supposed to do. Gave me retrieve Nachman data, bounced around the board. They were perfect. 2 units of grotesques, incredible. Especially when they killed something. They got the Mercy of the Homunculus, so they got a 4-up ignore damage for the rest of the game. And of course the Hemoxites, the toughest of the bunch. I find that these 3 units are tougher than like most stuff in the list. Lastly, I was very surprised with how good the 3 solo Talos were. They were great. Good for countercharging, soaking up firepower. In the one game I lost against the Harlequins, I did extend them. I used them too aggressively early on, and it came to bite me in the butt. But then in the next game, I used them more defensively. They were fantastic. I really liked it. And last but not least, the meat and potatoes of the list. 100 Wracks in 3 squads of 20. Well, there you have it. It was really good. I went 4-1. But let's dive in. Even throughout all the games that I played, I kept on thinking, okay, I need this, I need that, I need to change this, I need to change that. So, introducing, after this, the revamped list. So, in real time, let's break down how I'm going to change the list. Well, the first thing is I'm going to change around the Homunculus. So this Homunculus has the regenerate command points and the Helm of Spite. And he's not the Master or the Warlord. Then I have the Warlord, who is the Master, and he has the Vexator Mask and the reroll ones to hit aura. So what I found is there's a really cool stratagem called Protect the Great One, where a unit that does a wound to a Homunculus, I can spend a command point, and my entire army gets reroll all hits and wounds against it for the rest until my next turn, which is fantastic. It's really good. However, I can't do it with the Master Homunculus because he had a Vexator Mask. So when he charged in and I tried to get people to overwatch him, you can't because of the Vexator Mask. So quick change here is the Master Homunculus gains the Helm of Spite and the reroll ones to hit aura. And then the Warlord will be the Homunculus with the Vexator Mask, but also the regenerating CPs. And then the Master Homunculus can essentially run in and hopefully get killed on Overwatch to make sure I can use that stratagem, and then come back to life after he's essentially died to like Flamers or something. So that's the big number 1 change. The next change is a subtle one. Essentially drop one of the guns from one of the squads that has 2. It has an also factor, so it'll just go down to 1 gun. And then everything else pretty much stays the same. So I have 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, I put a gun in each unit. I found that having one squad without a gun was kind of annoying in the middle of the game. Now, the biggest change comes with these 2 units. So essentially, I'm going to be dropping a couple of models from each squad. So one unit will be down to 16 models, and the other one will be down to 18 models. But I'm going to make sure that each one of these squads has flamers. So this one is going to have 3 flamers, and they're going to be an 18 strong squad. And this one is going to have 2 flamers, and they'll be a 16 strong squad. So it just allows me to put another unit with flamers in, which I found really useful. And it's just going to be really handy for the damage output. And of course, I would be losing the whip on that one as well. So then I have 2 that have flamers. They can deal with some other threats. And then the last change I do, I actually remove one of these Talos, and that gives me enough points to add 1 and 2 Kronos into the list with a probe. So they have 2 more flamers, which are really handy, and the probe gives an aura, 6-inch aura, reroll 1s to wound, which will pair really well with the reroll 1s to hit aura from the Homunculus. It also gives me another tough body that I can use to bully and sort of screen out the board, and access to the Pain Siphon stratagem, where if any unit kills a unit in shooting or combat, can spend a CP if you're close to the Kronos and increase the power from pain to the unit to maximum, allowing the big units to become fearless with a 5-up environmental save, potentially a 4-up, shrug, and of course all the other good stuff that comes from that. So there you have it. It's a subtle change. However, the list remains as nasty as it did with a couple of tweaks. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Of course, a huge shout out to the channel Patreons, without whom none of this would be possible. If you'd like to support me while I go to events, make videos, and do all that stuff,
check the Patreon link down below. There's some really cool perks, as well as extra additional content, extra videos. And it's a great way to support me while I do this full time, which is literally what I do. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, as always, for the algorithm gods. Huge shout out to Game Night Leagues. I'll put a link to them down in the description. And Tristan for putting on a great event. Huge shout out to all my opponents. It was a fantastic time. I hope you enjoyed this tournament breakdown. I've been Skari, your grateful host from the old studio. Signing off until next time. Skari out. The Dark Kin. Bye, everybody.